Amazing medical QiGong practitioner, Tai Chi practitioner, speaks fluent Mandarin. For those of you that want to experience some of the energy that Seven's talking about, he's going to give a talk, but we're also going to go into the practice. So I'm excited to have something that's not just talking about it, but we're going to be able to play together and do it as well. So I want to give a warm welcome to my brother Kai Van Bodhi. I'll get this set up.
All right, so I'm just going to invite you guys to close your eyes for a second. Put one hand on your heart and one hand on your navel. Now, most of the time we're taught from being a child that the intelligence is in our brain. But that's bullshit. Because the heart's influence on the brain is 60 times more than the brain's influence on the heart. So when you're in a negative emotion, you can't access your highest brainwave states. And then maybe you know that if your gut has the wrong bacteria, it produces neurotransmitters of depression, sadness, lethargy. But when you have the right balance of gut bacteria, you get dopamine and serotonin, the feel-good neurotransmitters. So just take a moment with all the dancing, all the substances, all the connection. Let's check in and see where everybody's at right now. So just listen into your mind for a moment. How's that internal dialogue in your mind? Positive or negative, critical or loving? Is it quiet or loud? And then drop into your heart for a moment. What emotions are there for you right now? What's in the backdrop? And then finally drop down into your gut, your navel center. And just notice what's going on in your body right now. Is it thirsty? Is it tired? How's your food? How's your breathing? Because see, the body is the force multiplier. Whatever we do with our body. It's that thing we're riding on. All right, and then slowly take a note on each area, your physical body, your emotions, and your mind, and just come out with a word for each one. And then go ahead and just yell it out. What'd you get in your mind? Louder, please. Simple. Quiet. Okay, how about your emotions? Stillness. Tender, attached. Healing. Okay, beautiful. How about your bodies? What are your bodies asking for right now? Thirsty, water. Oh, that's Chewbacca calling us in. All right, so raise your hand if you're dealing with some health challenge right now. There's something you're working on in your health. I just want to see who's here. All right, just a few people. Raise your hand if you run a business. You do something in the world, you run a business. Okay, good. Raise your hand, you have a regular meditation, yoga, or QiGong practice. I'm just curious. Okay, so we're in the right room. So my name's Kai Van Bodhi. I lived in China for 7 years. I left there to come back to America because my brother and my mother were sick, and Western medicine had no answer for them. And as a young man, I wanted to do something about it. And so that's what led me to search these masters of acupuncture and herbal medicine. And when I got back from that trip, I realized that in order for people to listen to me or for me to have the impact that I wanted, that I needed to get my training as an acupuncturist here in the States so that I could work with doctors, Western doctors. How many of you see acupuncturists? Okay, awesome. So anyway, that was a long journey that took me into neuroscience because what I realized was not everybody was interested in qi and those things. They wanted to hear the science behind it. So I have one last question for you guys. Raise your hand if you're interested in ancient alchemy and wisdom. Okay, hands down. Raise your hand if you're also interested in modern neuroscience and quantum physics. Okay, so that's where I live, that's where I play, that's where I create. What language does the person in front of me need it in order for it to land, to put their rational mind to say, okay, this is good for me, and then their mystical mind can say, okay, this is cool, this is beautiful, this is powerful. And so we're going to do a few practices today. I'm going to ask you guys to stand up and move around. And we'll just start with the first one right away. So just stand up, please. Okay, there's a saying in Chinese medicine that all illness and pain come from a blockage of energy. If there's blockage, there's pain. If there's no blockage, if there's flow, there's no pain. So think about that in your expression of your emotions. Think about that in your food, in your digestion, whether you're constipated or you have diarrhea or whatever it is. Think about it in terms of heart disease. It's all blockage. So this first thing we're going to do is we're going to shake our bodies to move the blockage. But first thing is this. Bring your hands together, palm in front of palm. Bend your knees slightly. And just breathe in and expand the space. We all can create medicine inside ourselves. Exhale, hands come closer together. Relax your shoulders, space under armpits. Breathe in. Hold. Let the oxygen digest. Exhale, closer together. Now just play and just yell out what you feel between your hands if you feel anything. Warmth. Expansion. Come on, participation, people. Let's go. Energy. Anybody, raise your hand, you don't feel anything. It's okay. All right. So we're going to start to bounce. You're going to start to bounce from your feet. Okay, let your body bounce. Bend your elbows, let the wrists bounce. Breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. Feel that waveform travel through the body. Deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Come on, don't fake it. Faster. This is lymph flow. Gentlemen, your testicles should be bouncing. Ladies, your breasts should be bouncing. If it ain't bouncing, it ain't working. It's the lymph. A little faster, 30 more seconds. Not yet, but when the music stops, you're going to palm facing palm again. Faster. Like you stuck a fork in a toaster. Faster, 15 seconds. Relax, breathe deep. Ten more seconds. Keep going. Palm facing palm. Inhale, expand. Exhale, come together. If you feel more now, make some noise. Okay, so what is that? That is blood circulation. That is the increased movement of blood to your hands. What does that mean? Blood moves, you can keep breathing and feeling. Blood carries iron, which carries the hemoglobin, which carries our oxygen. So when our blood circulates, our magnetic field increases. Our immune system gets more on duty. The healing process in the body begins to turn on, and the inner pharmacy inside you is activated. And it doesn't take an MRI or an antibiotic. It just takes movement and breath. So if you walked away right now, that's just the message, is that you have a pharmacy inside you, and it's movement and breath that turns it on. And not everybody wants you to know that, because there's a lot of money involved in taking care of sickness. Okay, while we're standing up, let's do one more. All right, this is a neuroscience-based breathing technique to regulate your autonomic nervous system, right? We find ourselves in fight or flight, and then we find ourselves binging on Netflix on the couch in rest and digest. And our ability to move between fight or flight and rest and digest is our ability to show up in our board meetings for our relationships. If we're stuck in fight or flight, we dump our crap on our family, or we make poor business decisions. If we're stuck in rest and digest, we hide out in negative emotions and refuse to take actions. We make excuses. And just one thing I want to say, the system that I've created from the ancient and the modern is the system I need most every fucking day of my life. So I'm not up here telling you what to do. I'm just sharing what works for me. But the science is good and it feels good. So let me show you the technique first, and then we'll do it together. So you're going to inhale and open and look up. And then you're going to exhale and you're going to curl and make a turtle shell. So from the side, it looks like this. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale back and down. Exhale, press the elbows into the diaphragm. Okay, the inhales through the mouth, the exhales through the inhales through the nose, the exhales through the mouth. This is also kind of a Wim Hof breathing technique. Okay, stop for a second. Check in on your mind again. Listen to that internal dialogue so that you don't always react to those negative voices, that habitual conditioned mind. You can also witness it and ignore it when necessary. Tune into your heart. Notice how the emotions are shifting and moving inside of you. And then tune into your navel center. Notice how your body's changing temperature. We're going to do 9 of these. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. Please watch this carefully. On the 9th one, you're going to inhale. One hand on heart, one hand on navel. Swallow, saliva, relax shoulders. And you're going to open your lips and exhale like you're breathing out through a thin straw. You imagine a candle in front of you wouldn't even get blown out. And as you're exhaling slowly, you're going to bring the abdominal wall back towards your spine. This is to pressurize and circulate the blood flow inside your body. Cool? I'll guide you through. If you don't remember, just follow along. Here we go. Hands together, set an intention. It's your last day here. Just tune in to what you're calling in. We'll do it 3 times. On the count of 3, we're going to all inhale together. 1, 2, breathe out through the mouth. 3, inhale and open. All the way in, all the way out. Breaking off any stagnation around the heart. As deep as you can in and breathe it all out. Slow it down. Last one, inhale and hold. Hold, swallow saliva, relax shoulders, open lips, bend your knees, exhale a thin stream of air. Bring your abdominal wall back toward your spine. Keep exhaling and bring that abdominal wall back. If you got lightheaded, you can do it from your knees. Your body's not used to that much oxygen. Now take 3 deep belly breaths. Let both hands go down to the navel center. 3 deep belly breaths. Notice if anything's changed in your mind, your heart, your body. If you felt a lot, you can breathe quieter this time. If you didn't feel much, you can breathe stronger. If you got lightheaded, you can do this on your knees or sitting down cross-legged. All right, here we go. Back to your intention. What are you really calling in right now? 1, 2, breathing out, surrender. 3, inhale and open. Deeper. Open the heart. Breathe like you want life. Slow it down. Last one, inhale and hold. One hand on heart, one hand on navel. Swallow saliva, relax shoulders, open lips. Exhale a thin stream of air. Bring that navel back toward your spine. And then return to that belly breath. Notice what's happening in your consciousness. Notice what's happening in your emotions. And notice what's happening in your body. When we fully occupy our mind, our heart, and our body, it's very hard to be manipulated. It's very hard to be possessed. It's very hard to get blown around by all of the ideas out there that aren't our own divine truth. The breath brings you back to truth and your center. One more time. 1, 2, breathing out. 3, inhale. Call in that intention. Slow it down. All the way out. Last one. Inhale and hold. Hand on heart, hand on navel. Swallow saliva. Relax shoulders. Open lips. Slowly exhale. Let that top hand drift down. Seal in that intention. And then slowly go ahead and have a seat. Okay, so find a partner, and just share your biggest insight from that exercise practice. Let them know what was significant to you. What did you feel? What did you experience? What did you notice? Boost? Yeah. Let them know what you found in your mind stream, your emotions, and your body. I'll let you know when to switch people. You're going to have about 2 minutes each. About 30 more seconds and we'll switch. Okay, switch people. If you didn't switch already, let the other person go. All right, and start to wrap it up. Okay, 10 more seconds. All right, so who wants to share? What did you notice? Boost of energy. Got lightheaded. Did it get less lightheaded the more you breathed? You felt better after. Okay. So our brains are not used to having as much oxygen as we really need. Our Paleolithic ancestors were living in an atmosphere where there was a much higher percentage of oxygen. So they were stronger, they could run further. So in modern times, I believe it's non-negotiable to learn breathing techniques because we're working at a disadvantage already. Okay. Anybody else want to share what they experienced? So activation of a light body, what does that feel like? Anybody else feel they had no thoughts, right? I used to meditate for 30, 45 minutes. Anybody done Vipassana? It's like meditation, they're super strict. They hit you with a stick if you try to sleep. It's 10 hours a day and no yoga, no movement in some of the traditional ones. And it would take me 40 minutes to get to a state of no mind. And then I learned breathing and I would start my meditation where I used to end it. So I just invite you into that. And I want to give you one more invitation. Think about an area in your life where you tend to show up as less than your best self. When you're stressed, when you're triggered by somebody. Because what I've seen in these practices, the mystical stuff is awesome. And if I can do the breath work before I go to see my family, I show up as a different human being. If I can do this breath work before I manage the team in my business, I'm more patient and I'm also more direct with my team. And when I'm stressed, when I'm in my negative emotions, for a lot of us, that's physiology. You change the physiology, the heart changes, the mind changes. And so much work I see today goes mind to heart to body. And I have no judgment about that. That's useful. But my stand for all of you is take care of your body. That will help your heart. And that will open the mind into what you need. Because I don't know, how many of you work on self-love and self-worth? I believe that is the epidemic of our time in history. And all I can say is what I know is I never have more self-love than after I finish a QiGong practice. My body is circulating. It's how I'm supposed to feel, right? I'm not toxic at that moment. Okay. All right, so we're going to stand up. Do you guys have any questions about that? Do you feel like you can take that technique home with you? Yes, you can take it home? Okay, so I'm asking you to commit. I'm inviting you to commit to yourself. Use this at like a PowerPoint in your day, or when you transition from one thing to the other, or use it in a relationship that you're trying to heal, someone who triggers you all the time. You do this, step away, do your breathing, and I'll just say one more thing. I don't think you guys are really worried about this, but one of the things people say to me the most is, Kai, that shit looks weird. Like, I can't do that in the cubicle at my office. And I'm like, no, so you go out to your car. You rather lose your job or hate your life than look weird. Here's the reality. We are taking on trauma and stress all the time because we don't have that capacity to be weird. You know what a rabbit or a deer does if it gets chased by a predator? Have you guys ever seen this? A rabbit or a deer, when it gets chased by a predator and it escapes, it goes to a field once it's safe, and it jumps and it yells and it bounces to clear cortisol out of its system. We don't have a lot of good ways. We use alcohol. We use cannabis. We don't realize we can just yell and move our body. That's the healing capacity getting turned on. I can't give you all the science, but I'll tell you, at the end of neuroscience and quantum physics says we can heal ourselves with our thoughts, with our breath, and with our movement. That's the conclusion at the end of all my studies. Bruce Lipton, Greg Braden, all these people, Joe Dispenza, they did the work for us. And you're going to hear that in the hospital maybe in 30 years if you're lucky. You're not going to hear that there. All right, let's do one more QiGong. Stand up. All right, so 2 nights ago, I was just standing in the back of one of the music venues, and I was looking at the energetic field. And there's a lot of light beings here, and there's some darkness here. And I was just watching things happening, and I want to give you a tool for today, for the rest of your life, to reclaim your sovereignty, your electromagnetic space. Because our thoughts are not just here. We have glial cells in our brain. They're electromagnetic. Our thoughts are all around our field. I don't know if my music's going to compete with all the other music. Let's just see. So just stand straight, start to breathe. Okay. So go ahead and make a fist with your right hand. Hold on. Take your hands, line them up, wrist crease to wrist crease. And just notice that your fingers are about the same length usually. And if they're a little different, just take note. You got it? Same length? A little different? Okay. Just notice, make a fist with your right hand. And with your left hand, just feel like it's so heavy. Your shoulder's heavy, your left elbow's heavy. Oh, the wrist is so heavy. It's like there's a weight on the end of each finger just pulling you to the ground. You can wiggle those fingers. And then go ahead and just reach forward now with that left hand. Right hand's a fist, a loose fist. Reach. Maybe you were a kid and your parents kept the cookie jar just out of the reach. Those gluten-free spelt carob chip cookies. Just reach for that cookie jar. Reach, wiggle, reach. Just imagine your whole hand getting longer, fingers, knuckles, longer. You almost got it, and then just drop it. Oh. Shake it out, reach one more time, wiggle the fingers. Okay, now, I want you to compare your fingers again. If there's a difference, make noise. If there's no difference, you can be quiet. Okay, so how much difference would you say? Centimeter. When they want to change something in your body that's wrong, a centimeter, what do? Surgery. They cut you open. But we can change our bodies from the inside out. So let's just do this. Feet together, reach for the sky. I know some people are like, my hands are uneven, Kai, fix me. So go ahead and reach for the sky. Reach, breathe, and reach. Soften your shoulders and neck. Breathing and lengthening. It's the simple stuff that can heal the complex diseases. That's my belief, an invitation. Deep breath in. Yay for simplicity. Exhale. Now open your heart. Drop the elbows down and out. Now I want to give you a reason for this. About 5 years ago, they did some research. You have a bag of fascia around your heart. It's called the pericardium. They realize some people get heart attacks not from a blocked artery or vein. They get it because the pericardium is so stressed, it's choking out their heart. This stretch opens the pericardium. So press down, back, and out, and take a couple deep breaths here. Breathe ease and love into your heart. Exhale the sigh of relief. 2 more times. Shoulders back down and out. Yeah, weird shit can heal you. Deep breath in. All right, let those hands lower down. Feel the opening in your heart. Reach behind your back. Interlace all your fingers. This is the number one stretch for people that work on computers. Inhale back, exhale down. Inhale back, exhale down, shine through the heart, squeeze out the back of the heart, where we put all the emotions we don't want people to see that we deem unworthy, we put them in the back of the heart and we block it. In the alchemical traditions, the guidance from spirit comes through the back of the heart, the way of the spirit, the Shendao. If we have guilt and shame and unworthiness, we block spirit's energy to come through us. Deep breath in. Feel that open. Exhale. Good. Deep breath in. Exhale. Hinge forward. Feel those hamstrings opening, lengthening through the crown. Good. Release the hands. Reach for opposite elbow. Hang in ragdoll. Now inhale energy into the belly. Exhale, feel it move up to the brain. Just stay hanging. Inhale, your belly expands. Exhale, feel blood and cerebrospinal fluid moving up your spine to the brain. This can wake you up at the desk. One more fun fact as you breathe. They did a 5-year study of the best performers on the planet, and one thing they had in common, CEOs, entrepreneurs, they all took a 5-minute break every 52 minutes. So 30% more productive we are when we take a movement break every hour of work we do. Come rise back up, interlace the hands, reach for the sky. Stretch back, tuck your tailbone, squeeze your glutes, stretch that stomach channel. All right, exhale, back to center. Okay, spread your feet out. Okay, here we go. We're going to do this 3 times so you can follow. Breathe in, draw the hands back, and you're going to exhale. And any place in your life that you feel you're at a rock and a hard place, push the rock and hard place away from you as you make the ha sound. Here we go. Ha. And then relax, completely relax. Now inhale, draw the hands back. 2 fingers together. Now any people or situations that you need perspective and space from, you're going to push them away. Ha. See them get small, black and white, and then release. Now, any unnecessary burdens you've been carrying. Deep breath in. Anything that's not yours to carry, exhale, lift that weight off your shoulders. And drop it. Now, turn the palms down. Life gets complex sometimes. That's part of the plan to keep us limited. Deep breath in. Press down the rising tide of complexity so you can see clear next steps. Whole body gets taut, dynamically contracted. All right, good. Again. Rock and hard places. Here we go. And relax, relax, relax. To the front. People and situations, see them get tiny, black and white. You deserve time and space whenever you need it. And any burdens you've been carrying for too long, this is a moment to let go. Forgive yourself. It's going to burn you up and you'll be of no use to anybody. So unload the burdens. And then any complexity, even here at the festival, the complexity you're going home to, just see clearly. Press it down like pressing a 2x4 underwater. All right, one last time. Now, if you like the physical movement, you can do that. But if you want to, I invite you to just use your psychic energy, your mind energy. You are the creator. Your thoughts affect the quantum world. No more rock and hard place. Feel the space open up. All those people that bear down on you, that trigger you, you deserve the space. Just send them away, your energetic force field. Ultimately, they'll be grateful that you took time to make your choices on your own. And any burdens, we think by carrying burdens we help people, but we actually just burn ourselves up. So just unload them. And then go ahead and turn the palms down and don't get stuck in overwhelm. Go ahead and press down. And then go ahead and have us slowly bring feet together. We'll end the practice in a traditional way. Left hand over right hand. The feminine mind, the intuitive mind over the masculine doing. And we do 3 bows. The first bow is to yourself for showing up to practice and cultivate. It's a blessing to everyone you're going to meet today. So bow to yourself. A bow to this dojo, the freedom camp, all the safety and inclusion, all the powerful consciousness. So to the dojo, the training zone. And lastly, a bow to the teachers that kept these practices alive through poverty and persecution, somehow knowing modern man and woman would need it even more than they did in ancient times. So to the lineages of light, to the wisdom keepers. All right, go ahead and have a seat. I just got one more thing to share. So, I believe that the number one skill any of us can learn in life is called course correction. It's not when you're going to get knocked off your horse. It's not when things are going to go perfect. There's always going to be challenges, especially people that are working in consciousness in a planet that is barely awake right now. It's waking up. But we are on that leading edge or the bleeding edge, and so we're going to get knocked down. And I share these practices with you today because I really believe if you picked one of the things we did today and you did it every day, you will be able to get back on your horse faster than ever before. You'll be able to course correct faster than ever before. And over time, that will add up to so much. And this is the last piece. Part of what I do for visionaries, leaders, and influencers is I help them determine how much time and energy they lose every day to what I believe is the modern menace, which is distraction, overwhelm, and fatigue. They feed each other, and it's not our fault. We're not made to look at screens. We're not made to commute in traffic. We're made to make love and dance and look at sunsets and sunrises. We're made to heal people, but we're not in that world right now. And what I find, you guys can do your own assessment. How much energy, time do you lose to distraction, overwhelm, and fatigue? Just think about that for a second. Relationships, money, health. There's another triangle, and it's the triangle that QiGong puts you in. It's the triangle of energy, clarity, and focus. And that's my mission, is to give people the tools, those people that are making the biggest difference, to give them the tools to stay in energy, clarity, and focus so they can make their difference. Thank you so much for listening, you guys.